The angel, even heaven feared. The story of Azrael, the end bringer. In the celestial hierarchy of angels, most have a role. Some wield swords, others bear messages, and a few guard the gates between realms. But there was one whose presence made even the mighty tremble, not because he fought battles, but because his arrival meant one thing only: the end. He was not a warrior like Michael, nor a herald like Gabriel. He was the angel of finality, the last chapter in every soul's story. He was Azrael, the end bringer, the silent watcher, the one whose name whispered across dimensions, signaling the moment a soul would depart from its mortal vessel. Some say he could remove a soul with a breath. Others claim that souls knew him the moment he appeared, knew instinctively that their time had come. And when he came, even the highest archangels stepped aside. Welcome to Secret Origins. Today, we unveil the story of the most feared and most misunderstood angel ever conceived. Before death was born. In the earliest days, before time ticked forward, before stars shimmered and humans breathed, there was no such thing as death. The world, still incomplete, held no end because life itself had not yet begun. Then came the first spark, Adam, shaped from divine soil and placed into a paradise called Eden. It was a place of peace and stillness, untouched by pain or decay. But when Adam and his companion, Eve, tasted the fruit that had been forbidden, they brought something new into existence: disobedience. With that came its inevitable consequence, death. And from that moment, death became an unavoidable part of the human journey. People would be born, age, and then eventually die. But this new reality needed an agent, someone who would not simply execute a task, but carry the unbearable weight of ending what had begun. The angel who did what others couldn't. To carry out this responsibility, God summoned his angels. He asked them to descend to earth and collect the dust from which Adam would be formed. This sacred earth would become the vessel for the first soul. Gabriel descended first, but was moved by the earth's cries and returned empty-handed. Michael followed, but his compassion restrained his hand. Even Raphael hesitated. The earth, it seemed, was pleading not to be part of something that could lead to sorrow. Then came Azrael, not yet the angel of death, but an obedient and silent servant. When he reached the earth, he did not hesitate. He collected the dust, even as the earth wept. Some say he promised to return what he took. Others say he said nothing at all, but he completed the task. And that changed everything. Azrael had proven something none of the other, becoming the end bringer. From that moment, Azrael was no longer just an angel. He became Malak al-Maut, the angel of death. But his job wasn't about cruelty. He did not kill. He did not destroy. He delivered. He transitioned souls from one phase of being to another. He carried the weight of every ending, not just of human life, but of entire civilizations, animals, prophets, kings, and even other angels, should God decree it. In Jewish and Islamic traditions, Azrael carries a celestial scroll, updated constantly with the names of every living soul. When a person is born, their name appears. When they die, it vanishes. He does not choose who dies. He does not act on whim or vengeance. He waits, and when the divine order is given, he moves, with no delay, no emotion, and no error. A power beyond comprehension. Ancient texts describe Azrael in forms beyond imagination. Unlike Michael, who fought in glory, or Gabriel, who appeared in human-like radiance, Azrael's form is vast and unknowable. Some sources say he has 4 faces, facing in every direction, to witness all corners of the earth. He has 4,000 wings, some gentle as silk to carry righteous souls, others forged of iron and fire for those bound by sin. His body, it is said, is covered in eyes and tongues, each one tied to a living soul. When a person dies, their corresponding eye or tongue disappears. His very form reflects the state of the world. Azrael doesn't travel. He doesn't arrive late. He already knows where you are, and when your time comes, distance means nothing. In some accounts, even the great bearers of the throne, the most powerful angels created, lower their gaze when Azrael appears. Not out of shame, but because they know his presence signals the divine conclusion of something sacred. Not a killer, but a guide. Azrael is often mistaken as a cold or terrifying being, our modern grim reaper. But his role is far more nuanced. He is what scholars call a psychopomp, a being who guides souls from this world to the next. He does not only sever the connection between body and soul, he carries it forward. To the righteous, he appears as a peaceful light, warm, comforting, sometimes even familiar. Stories say that the Prophet Muhammad met Azrael not in fear, but in grace. Moses, too, received Azrael as a respectful guest. But to the wicked, Azrael appears in terrifying form, cold, distant, harsh. For them, death is not a gentle transition, but a wrenching, painful end, one that mirrors the life they lived. Azrael reflects the truth of the dream bringer. Sometimes Azrael comes before death, through visions or dreams. Sufi poet Rumi described meeting Azrael before he passed, not in darkness but in peace, a soul meeting a companion who had waited patiently. Nasir Khusra wrote of a dream in which Azrael warned him of his coming end, allowing him time to prepare and find peace. These dreams are not always fearful. They are part of Azrael's deeper purpose, to guide, not to haunt. Death and Azrael, 2 separate beings? Here's where the story deepens. According to some traditions, death itself was created as a separate entity. It wasn't just an event, it was a being. When the angels first saw death, they were so overwhelmed by its form that they fainted for 1,000 years. And yet, God gave Azrael command over death. He was not born from it, he ruled over it. While other angels wielded fire, thunder, and light, Azrael held something greater, finality. Some mystics believe Azrael eventually became death, not metaphorically, but literally. He was the form that death took when God needed it to walk, the end of death. In the Islamic end times, after Judgment Day, one final act remains. God will present death itself, sometimes described as a great ram, and slay it in front of all creation. In that moment, death will end, and with it, Azrael's purpose will be fulfilled. He will have completed the greatest task of any celestial being, ushering every soul that ever lived through the gate. Beyond fear, Azrael was never about terror. He is the final hand that closes the book, the still breath before a new one is taken. Even in modern times, his presence remains in literature, art, and pop culture. In the 1800s, Longfellow wrote of Azrael as a gentle reaper. G.K. Chesterton used his name as a symbol of cosmic force. Even in cartoons like the Smurfs, the villain's cat bears the name Azrael, a quiet nod to the angel who still lingers in our collective memory. So, who is Azrael to you? Is he the shadow at the door, or the guide across it? The end, or simply the beginning of something greater? Let us know in the comments below.